everyone. This is Sylvia with Odyssey of Enlightenment. And today we're here with Roseann from Sylphia Speaks. And we're going to talk about this energy portal that we're in, the 9-9 portal. It seems like there's always a portal, huh? Every 5 minutes. And it's just amplifying more and more and more. And we just wanted to share our insights and our experiences and to check in with you guys and see how you're doing. Mention in the comments below how you've been feeling. And share, and feel free to check out Roseann's channel, Sylphia Speaks. Hi, Roseann. How are you?
Hi.
In the purge? In the purge?
Yeah.
In the thick of it. It's like just when you get done with, I don't know, it feels like we've done like 75 layers. It's like, seriously, is there another one? Like another one? Didn't
Always.
I deal with this already?
Yeah, always. No, it's funny because this is kind of new to me as far as like it's my first time tasting it all, although my soul is so old that as soon as I taste it, it knows it. So what I'm trying to say is, like, remember how we just passed the Lionsgate portal thing?
Yeah.
This year 2019 was the first time I ever heard of Lionsgate portal. You know what I mean? Like, that was never a part of my life. And then all of a sudden it's like, what is that? And then the soul knows because it's old. But the same thing with this 999 thing, it's just like,
yes. It's like when you look backwards, you see the pattern and you're like, oh my God, I was totally going through that at all these, at all these energetic gateways. And it's like echelons that you're moving through. And just because the mind is ignorant and doesn't know what's happening doesn't mean it's not happening to you, which is kind of exciting and scary, because that means that people that are asleep, same thing, just because you don't know something doesn't mean it's not happening to you, so
that goes into a whole nother discussion we can have, about health and all that. Yeah. But today, what are we talking about again?
The 9-9 portal, which was yesterday, 9-9, and I was guided to do a releasing ritual. And I thought, why? And I was told, because it's 9-9. And I completely forgot. I totally forgot about 9-9. Because I don't know about you, but like social media and like all the hype is like, oh, this portal and that portal and the strawberry moon and this other crap. And you're like, shut up. It feels like you're just overwhelmed, oversaturated with, sometimes it's kind of difficult because there's so much coming at you that you don't know what's real and what's like I don't know, like a bandwagon, like what's popular, they're just trying to sell it as something, and if it's bullshit. And I was guided that this is important, and I was stopped, and because I was gonna ignore it, and I was told you better not ignore it. So I had to do something yesterday.
Well, it seems like this year has been, like I said, I didn't really follow all the new moon and, full moon and all this stuff before. This is all new to me in this incarnation of myself. But I guess I must have done it before because it's very natural to me. But my higher self, my peeps, whoever, they are very much saying, yeah, this is a hot year. Like, each of these things has been progressing. I mean, right now I am in the biggest change of my life, and it is because of the energies that are happening. I mean, this is crazy energy. Like, big changes can be made because of the push behind us. It's almost like we are energetically being supported and uplifted to change and get into where we're supposed to be.
Right. Would you agree that before it was like a suggestion, a whisper, a wink, a nudge, and now it's like, you're going. And now it's like, let go or be dragged.
Yes.
Because just when you think that you've done it, oh no, you haven't. Not to this degree. And you're like, there's more?
Right. And you get caught up in thinking you've done enough and this and that, and it's almost like where you just got to let go and relax. This is my mantra that keeps coming up over and over again. Relax, release, redo. Relax, release, repeat. Relax, release, repeat. And that you think you're done, but you know you're not done, because all of a sudden the universe is like is making all this crap happen to you. And then you're like, uh-oh, I guess I'm still stagnant, or I'm still not where I'm supposed to be. Like for me, in my case, you know, not moving forward. I've been stuck in this place for so long doing the same thing that the universe is making it very, very uncomfortable for me to stay here. You
Mm-hmm.
know, bills are piling up, and changes need to be made, and all these things that used to be so easy to handle
You know
are
what?
like,
I don't know if it was that you were handling it, because for me, in my situations, I think we tell ourselves you're handling it, but really it's like you're shoving it under the rug. You're like, I don't want to look at that right now. And it's like, oh, you're gonna look at it. Like I'm just gonna amplify it, because what I keep getting told is, you asked for this. You're not being punished. You're not being abused. You're not being, oh, poor me. No, we're giving you everything you want. So it's like, go back and do like a reassessment of all the things that you're asking for. Oh, well, I want spiritual friends, and I want a spiritual partner, and I want this, and I want that. And it's like, okay, well, in order to get those things, you have to let go of all the crap in your hands, and you have to change your environment. And it starts with this environment, right? So
that's huge.
And I know, and it's so scary, because it's like, that's my safety blanket. Because you're like, well, I know, it's like, better the devil I know than the devil that I don't know.
Exactly.
And it sounds
Well, and you know, you're talking about, you know, exactly what did you ask for? You know, like, what is it that you asked for? I could go all the way back to thinking about when I was a kid and I used to want to talk to spirits because I thought it was so
yes!
cool, right?
Oh my God, yes. And then they sit on your bed when you're trying to go to sleep at night, and you're like, never mind.
So it's just like, man, like all this, you know, so I wanted to talk to spirits. Okay, we'll let you talk to spirits, but first you got to go through this whole big awakening, and you have to purge all this stuff, and it hurts really bad. And then guess what? Now that you're more spiritually awakened, now all your friends kind of don't really vibe with you anymore. So we got to get rid of them now.
Oh my
And then
God.
now we're, you know, yeah, and on and on.
It feels like loss on top of loss on top of loss on top of loss. And then let's talk about that for a little bit, because I know me, and you know, in your naivete, when you're like awakening, I guess I thought it was just 3D people that I would lose, which makes sense. Okay, they're not they don't have the same mission, they're not on the same path, it's not their time yet. Like, you can't force somebody to be in college that's in kindergarten. You just can't. You have to go through the levels, and that's no shade to anyone. It's just they want to take the scenic route. Wonderful. Go be in the scenic 3D route. Not me. But like, I thought only 3D. Only 3D job, only 3D friends, only 3D relationships. Oh no. It's spiritual people too. Spiritual people, it's like, nope, okay, this person is expired. Remove. The spiritual group, this thing that you were doing, this project that you thought was wonderful, and you're like, but my hands are empty again. And it's that feeling of loss.
I'm hearing again the what I was told to say to myself, because I was going through that too. I am going through that right now. Like, some really great spiritual people in my life that I love. I mean, it's like, why don't you want to hang out with me no more? Why don't you want to talk with me anymore? That's because they're going through their own stuff, you know. And spirit keeps, I'm going to call it spirit. I mean, I speak to all different
We
kinds
all know
of
what
stuff.
that means. Yeah.
Yeah. So they, you know, I hear, you're supposed to ask, what have they taught me? What are you here to teach me? Everything. You could honestly do this with everything. But like, say you got a really awesome spiritual person in your life, you know, and just all of a sudden they're not talking to you anymore. Well, why? Well, why? And so you think to yourself, well, what are they trying to teach me? I can give you a perfect example. A girl that, God, she was amazing. I mean, I totally just adore her, right? And she was helping me through a lot of stuff. I had a lot of issues with guys and relationships and things like that. How I handled my relationships, my male relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't listening. basically, you know. She was giving me wonderful insights. You know, she hears spirit really well. And she was saying, you should probably look into this. You should probably look into that. But it wasn't my time yet. My
You
feet
have
were
to be
still
ready.
dragging. My
Yeah.
feet were still dragging. So, you know what? I don't know if she got frustrated or not, or if it was just that she knew that she had to move on with her journey, because her constantly beating a dead horse, me,
Yeah.
isn't helping her at all, you
Yeah. Well,
know.
yeah. And then we get different missions. I think we get different assignments.
Totally.
And for me, it's been more, I'm the one removing the people. They don't leave. Because before, the 3D people definitely left me. But now the spiritual people, I'm the one being called to remove them. If I sense any off, any like a mismatch, because I don't want to be
Yeah.
disrespectful, because I'm so grateful for them. I have so much love and appreciation for them. But I was like, not right now. And like a big wall would go up between me and them. And I would know, ooh, I got to withdraw. And that's so confusing and painful, because you don't want to do it, because you've lost so much, and now you are so excited for these new people that you get to play with that think like you, and and what a gift. And now you have to take that gift back to the
Yeah.
store, and oh man, that is so difficult. But like, I think it was also a test for me to see, will you do what you're guided to do, no matter how much you care about them? Like, who are you going to listen to? So then it was like, maybe they'll come back, maybe they won't, but you have to be okay with it no matter what.
Right.
Because
Well,
the
that's, you know,
the
I'm trying to think of the word for that. Um, but not to parallel Jesus or anything, but right away I'm thinking of, you know, how he was given tests all the time.
yeah.
Okay, not the same caliber, of course,
No,
because
well,
Jesus rocked his
I feel
thing.
that we are the second coming of Christ. I feel it's all of us,
All
honestly.
of us, all of us,
Yeah,
yes.
all of us.
Because it's unconditional love. That's what Jesus was unconditional love. And now, because he came back then, and we'll see, and Jesus did it, and Buddha did it, and there was like a bunch of, I always go blank after Buddha, but there was like there was a whole bunch of these ascended masters that kind of did the same thing. It just so happens that Jesus was the one who got the most publicity, I guess, you know. And well, then Buddha too, he got a ton of publicity on that side of the planet. You know what I mean? Like, I keep feeling
It's all
like that
linked. Mm.
they basically, what we're trying to do is we're trying to hold on to, or bring back, unconditional love again. You know, that is the main factor.
Yeah, but we got to
To
have it in here first, because I think what's coming up, especially for me, is like, you're cleaning out the garage, but now you're at the like depths, at the bottom, like with a microscope, and it's like you forgot all this stuff, and you're like exhausted because you've been doing it for years, and it's like, oh my God, I don't know if I can make it. I don't know if I can scrub out that spot. I don't know if I can, you're on fumes, it feels
Yeah.
like.
Well, and then, you know, too, think about it. If it, you know, in that token, on a day-to-day basis, we have every day we're bombarded with new things that we could be putting into us like that. Now you're saying you're scrubbing out the basement every day. That's all of our old junk. If we don't do the right programs, if we don't do the next right thing on a day-to-day basis, we could be just adding junk again, you know. And
Mm.
I think that's when they talk about, you know, slipping back into 3D, you know, so or yeah, that kind of
Yeah,
thing.
yeah. Well, yeah, and also, how are you dealing with it? Because we're in a dualistic reality. I mean, that's just how it is. And how are you dealing with it? So what I've been guided to when I am going through something is, how are you reacting to it? How are you responding to it? And I am no longer allowed to fall on crutches or addictions from the past. So like, old Sylvia, 3D Sylvia, probably would have turned to, a cocktail, or go talk to people that I know I shouldn't be talking to, whatever, indulging in whatever behavior that is like not benefiting me. It depletes me at a soul level, at an energetic level, emotionally. Like it doesn't feed me in any way. It takes from me, but in the moment, it's like a substitute, a place filler to distract me from this thing that's going on that I don't want to look at. So it's like, no, now you got to do it cold turkey, sober, in your right mind. So use your spiritual tools, all the things that you've learned in this boot camp that we've been in, and go from there. And OMG, that is like, because it's just you. It's all you. And like, how are you going to handle it? So it feels like the challenges always present themselves, the initiations always present themselves, but I guess because you keep getting bigger, they're like, you can handle it. You're okay. You're huge now. You thought you were still like this, but you're not. You're giant.
Right. Well, I was going to say about the purging and all that, So basically, like we come onto this earth and we've already got garbage inside of us because of old karmic debt. So we got to start, we work on our normal, when you start awakening, then you're like working on your normal stuff, you're working on your karmic stuff, and then suddenly you got voids, and these voids need to be filled. And so you can do it the right way, which is what we found out through awakening, which is going to a higher source and asking, asking to be filled, and most of the time what I'm noticing is those that are really in the throes of addictions, that are filling voids, are those that are running away from their divinity. What that means is that they have a really big soul, so they have really big open holes inside of them.
So big shoes
Right.
to fill.
Right. So when they're allowed, now I'm going to keep doing this because this is like my way of saying it, but like my Sylphia is huge, right? And so I needed huge space inside of me to let her get in there and settle in there, and so I already had the huge space, but it was filled with all kinds of shit. And then every time I would purge something, then I'd get really scared. I didn't know that I needed to pull my higher self into me and harness and anchor her. I didn't even know that that's what a thing.
So Sylphia is your higher self, right? For those who are watching that don't know.
Yeah. Sylphia is my higher self. Her name is Sylphia, as opposed to
Sylphia.
That's a whole joke in itself that we'll have to get into one of these days, because that's pretty weird. But yeah, no, my higher self, and she, I got that name. I don't know where I got that name. Just these things come to me and I just go with it. I learned to trust.
Yeah.
But anyway, so this is my truth. This is my big disclaimer always. This is my truth. This isn't necessarily your truth or someone else's truth, but maybe speaking my truth, you can pick out a little bit of what your truth might be,
Right.
So anyway, about those holes. So you don't really know what to do, because we're living in this 3D thing and we don't know about, a higher self or what needs to be coming into me and blah, 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 blah. And so you got these big ass holes to fill. And so what do you fill them with? Well, I filled it with alcohol. I filled it with food. I filled it with sex. I filled it with boyfriends. I filled it with attention, attention seeking activities. I mean, if you could be addicted to it, you name it, I did it, I just, except for like major hard drugs, but that's just because
power, control.
Yeah, for real. Like, oh man, huge work addiction, workaholic.
Money.
But so that's what you end up doing is you try to fill these holes with these 3D things and there's no substance. So it's almost like it leaves you very flat. But holy cow, once you get the concept of, no, allow your higher self to come in. So what does that feel like? Well, for me, my heart hurts like an anxiety attack. And all my life, I've always ran away from pain. Okay. So like, say, even if I have a pain in my back, I'll try to ignore it, you know, just be like, okay, that's not there. We're just going to try to, okay, you know, that kind of a thing. Same thing with my like anxiety attacks and stuff. I would just be like, okay, I'm ignoring it. It's going to go away. Okay, that's off. That kind of a thing, right? No. What I do now is I go, okay, this is not an anxiety attack. This is my energetic heart needing to be expanded. All right, let's look at it. And I close my eyes and I relax and I let my body relax and I feel the heart and I just feel myself exhaling, taking that energy and pushing it like that. Release. And then suddenly it's like Tetris blocks. Everything goes into the right places and there's no more of that tension or buildup or anything. And then there you go. There's it's settled.
It's like you're realigned and recalibrated all of a sudden. Wow, that's so anybody could do this.
Hey, haha.
If you're going through, if you're feeling that.
Well, see, that's the thing is that's what I've been trying to teach people. So what, see, I'm not totally sure of my gifts yet. I know I'm a healer. I know I could do all these crazy things, but what I'm pretty good at is teaching people how to shield themselves and teaching people about their higher selves. Now, like what I usually will do is I'll see like a cord and I'll send it, if I see something, like if I see somebody's higher self, and I'll attach it and then I'll attach it to you and then I'll kind of like pull it and so that the process will start, you know, and then I'll kind of walk a person through that. Okay, how are you feeling? Do you feel this? Do you feel that? Some people don't feel it in their energetic heart. Some people feel it throughout their whole body. Some people feel like it's static on their outer body. You know, I mean, everybody's got a little something. And the beauty about my team is that I can listen to whatever you're saying and they'll tell me what I need to tell you.
That's so cool. I do that too when you're talking to the big version of them. And I love when the little version of them lies to you and the big one tells you the truth. I'm going to pause you really quick. I'm so sorry. This cat can't decide whether she wants to be in my room or outside of my room. So hold on one moment.
I already did. Whoops.
And we're back.
I'm going to have to edit that out. You know, I don't know how to do. I don't know how. I'm still a newbie.
It's okay. So if you could share with us how to access our higher selves for anybody watching that got really excited when you said that, and then shielding.
Okay. So the concept I'd like to say is, you know, when you were a kid in school and you used to daydream and you would almost be like, here, you're present, but then your mind is over there. That's where you got to go. That's the other realm. You could call it whatever you want to call it. I like to call it like the etheric realm. You could get into like all this stuff about there's like X amount of realms. There's one for this, one for that, blah, blah, blah. Let's not talk about that. I'm just going to talk about a big old, the other parts, the other beyond the veil, whatever you want to call it. So it's not going to happen immediately. I mean, it could if you got that kind of a gift, maybe. But I want to say, don't go into it thinking it's going to happen immediately. Just know that it will, because you asked for it eventually, you know? So basically I would say you just you get quiet, you listen, you open your mind, go to that other place, like your daydream land, and then say, I would like to see who my higher self is, and then see what pops up. And you may see some crazy stuff. You may see nothing, you know. I have a very colorful way of seeing things. I see things in like staticky pixelated shapes, you know, like when I first started seeing Sylphia, it was very like static electricity almost, you know, and it wasn't dense. And it's like the more you look at her, okay, like for example, I'll give you an example. I put my hand on this guy that I met because we were talking about this. And he's like, I have a feeling that I know what my higher self is, but I'm not sure. I'm confused. Ba, ba, ba. So I said, okay, let me try. And I put my hand on him, and that was how I connected to his energy very quickly. And then, so when I closed my eyes, I started seeing out of the corner like an orangey light. And that's how it started coming in. And then instead of like focusing like this, like I'm gonna focus, you
Mm-hmm.
sort of almost let go of your focus.
Mm-hmm.
You let go of it. You're not trying to force this connection to see. You're more like, all right, well, I think I see something orange there, but I'm just going to kind of ignore it and look away like this and see if it comes this way. And then all of a sudden you start seeing more and you start seeing
Mm-hmm.
more. And then boom, you can kind of maybe make out what it is. Now, these are gifts that we're talking about that take time to ripen. You have to build your trust in your own self, you know. Also, okay, so anyway, so I started seeing maybe it was like orange flame, and I'm like, orange flame, what's that, you know? Uh, and then a little bit more, I started seeing maybe like a wings, like as if it was almost like the orange flames were kind of doing like this. Do I
Mm-hmm.
need to pause this? Do you hear the train? Is it very bad?
No, no, no. It's very
Okay.
mild.
Um, and then I saw like the orangey flames were kind of doing like this, and then I thought to myself, oh, that's a phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked him, I said, do you have any affinities for phoenixes? Because that's another thing too, is you can create things for yourself too, you know, and this will be when we get into shielding. So I said, do you have any affinities for phoenix? And boy, did he light up, smile, and he
Mm-hmm.
shows me, and he pulls out of his shirt a necklace that has a phoenix on it. And I said, did you know that's your higher self? He goes, no. He goes, no, I didn't. And I said, well, do you think that's what it is? And he's like, I think maybe. And so then
Wow.
I continued to keep looking, and um, that's what it was. Now, okay, so somebody's listening to this, they're going to be like, what the heck? That sounds so crazy. I have to say to you this. Think about the multiverse, not even just the universe, the multiverse. There's a bigger word for the shebang.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we're just in this little Milky Way thing, but that's huge, right? Then beyond that is this and this and this and
Right.
this and this. How can we
Right.
say that there's not one of everything? And
Exactly.
who came
Yeah.
up with the ideas? Where did we come up with the ideas? Well,
Right. 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 Yeah. There's
yeah,
so much that you can't even begin to comprehend who you really are. So I think what you're saying is if you got to be willing and you open the door and you invite that information in because you want it, because they're not going to just boom and rush in without your permission.
right.
So you asking for it shows you're ready. I want to step into the true me, the real me, and you invite it in, and then gradually as you come and meet it and wait for the at the spot, and then they'll come towards you.
Yeah. And then so what happens over time? So my suggestions are uh and this is trial and error by me. So now I'm going back and I'm thinking about like how I handled Sylphia. Um and if I would do it over again, it would be like I would take time every day to just think about her or think about the higher self and just be still and quiet and see what they want to show you.
Mm.
And whatever you end up seeing in your mind's eye, write it down. Or I'm famous for, I'll take my voice recorder on my phone and I'll just be like, you know, with my eyes closed, and I'll just be babbling about what it is I'm seeing. Okay, I'm seeing this, and I'm seeing a river, and I'm seeing a blah blah, and I'm seeing a this, and then you can go back and you can listen to that recording over and over and start bit and piecing it together.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's the other thing too, is like when you first start asking questions, it's called going down the rabbit's hole, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, when I first started all of this, I was very drawn to the star Sirius in the Virgo star system. which I called bullshit on because I'm a Virgo. So I called bullshit. I'm like, oh, you just like it because of that, and da, 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 da. I'm talking myself out of it, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward to the first time I was able to speak to some star families who came through the Vega star system, which is the Syria from that star.
Oh, wow.
So that's how I know. But that's what happens is the rabbit hole, you know. So what I'm saying is that when you're doing your channeling, well, that's called channeling, when you're talking to your higher self, and then you're going to be voice recording what your impressions are. So whatever you're seeing, even if it seems insignificant, 6 months down the road, maybe that's going to fit.
It's a clue. Mm-hmm.
It's almost like getting the 1,000,000-piece puzzle.
Yeah. Yeah.
A few hundred pieces at a time.
Oh, less than that. And then you're like a triangle. Yeah. That's so funny.
So as far as the higher self, I mean, I'm sorry, there's no quick way. And okay, I'm 44. I say that I started like sensing things when I was a teen. Well, I probably did when I was really young, but I got some issues with memory. But I remember being in Catholic high school.
What is that? Is that your
I
favorite?
don't know.
What was that?
I don't know.
What do you mean? Look it. That's so interesting. Ooh.
It's a fly. It's a fly.
Wow, that thing looked really big and it scared the crap out of me. Weird stuff always happens when we talk. So
you know what? I'm thinking like I seen myself get dark and I'm going, oh Lord, the devil.
No, it's the boogeyman. Okay, so let me give you guys some background. Roseann was helping me with another friend that she called, and I'm so grateful because I got energetically attacked this morning. And that's why we wanted to do the 9/9 portal video, because it's super important. Because when you close a timeline and you say no, when you close a door to something that does not benefit you, it will fight, it will kick, it will scream to stay relevant. It wants to keep feeding off your energy. And I was attacked this morning, and I called in my reinforcements, my peeps, and Roseann helped me out, and I'm so grateful. But this is real. And just because you think you've reached a certain level that it's not going to happen to you, that's not true. So you got to stay ready so you don't got to get ready, and just be vigilant and in your authority. No. And like just command what you want. No, this is what's going to happen because I said so.
Yes, stay vigilant. Say vigilant. That's the thing. That is like one of my biggest problems. Well, it used to be. I've gotten so good at this now. I used to I would have these perfect barriers, you know, and like, and then all of a sudden, I'd let somebody in, you know, and then there would be something attached to them. Mm-hmm. And then I would get the yucky feeling and all that stuff. So you have to be like vigilant, all inclusive, you know,
whether they're spiritual or not, because sometimes I don't even necessarily think it's the person. I think it's all the crap that they come with.
Right. Yeah. See, and that's the other thing too is, you know, a lot of people will disagree with me on certain things as far as, because I go down to the root of it. I look at everything as energy. So when people are talking about like sometimes demons and stuff like that, mm-hmm. I'll call them, you know, if you want to call them a demon or something, I'll call it a demon, but I still call it negative energy.
Yeah, well, that's never negative energy. It's just the cluster. It's either dark or light. So in absence of light, whatever.
Yeah. So as far as like here's the big takeaway about anything you do for protection. It's all about intent. Mm-hmm. It's all about intent. So if you say to yourself, oh man, I'm going to get attacked because blah, blah, blah. Well, then you opened a door. Mm. You have to make everything you say solid, you know, like my barrier is never going to let this in.
Okay.
And now I have a lot of discussions with my counterpart about that, because he feels that, all inclusive is not good. And I said, no, I said, all inclusive is very good. You could always add loopholes later. You know what I mean?
Okay. So give us an example.
I will. I was just going to say, women. Okay. The more you get in touch with your higher self, the more you get in touch with your divine feminine. The more you get in touch with your divine feminine, the more sexually attractive you are to every single man around.
Weirdos. Yes.
So what happens? You could get yourself even raped. I mean, it could be that bad because
No.
yes, because listen, you could, if your divine feminine is out of control, it could drive a goofy man crazy. Someone who's
okay. So you're saying like somebody with no barriers, like you get yourself because you have to balance. So then when you balance your power, you also have to balance your protection. Like they all have to be equal.
Yeah. So let me say about the divine feminine. So for example, like as you harness more and more and more divine feminine light in you, you become so desirable, even to women. It's not just, it's because we all have a masculine in us.
Yeah.
So
it's
our
energy. Yeah.
right. So even you'll start being followed by women.
Magnet. You become a magnet.
Yes, because it's so beautiful. This energy is beautiful, And so what happens is you need to shield yourself. And I made all inclusive. Like, I do not want any sexual energy coming into me or out of me, kind of a thing, And there's more stipulations to it, but that was kind of the gist of it. And then, well, what happens if I want to go have sex with my husband? Oops, I forgot. So I had no sexual desires whatsoever. So then I had to make a loophole that,
But that's how you learn, though, right?
Mm-hmm. But that's good, though. Think about it, though. Honestly, I had to make a loophole. Big deal. It didn't hurt the protection, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then, so another thing, I mean, this is so complex. Wow. I mean, like, we could really get into complex stuff.
Because it's so intricate. It's like a spider web. It's just but that's how you learn. And then I encourage everyone to play with it. Like, this is a template, but add your own, secret sauce to it.
Yeah. And you could see why people visualize is because when you visualize, it cements it even better. Like, say, for example, that barrier I was just talking about, the sex barrier. Say you visualize it as a golden cocoon or something. You know what I mean? It's just cementing in your mind your intention. But you don't have to. But it's good to. It depends on how powerful your mind is, or how powerful your heart and intentions are. You know what I mean? Now, as far as so what happens when you become so desirable that and you bring so much light into this world because you're holding this divine light? What happens then? Well, darkness kind of comes looking for you, because all of a sudden you're a beacon.
They're in pain. They want to be healed. Honestly, they're looking for healing, and that's what we're here for. We're here to heal. So I get that part, but I've had to shield because it's weird, it's scary, it's creepy, because like the ones that have been coming are super broken, and it's not like they want to do the work. They don't want to do the work. They just want to siphon light. And so I've had to, like you said, loopholes, strengthen barriers, because I don't want anyone that's not willing to, who doesn't really want to help, they just want to leech, because there's a lot of leeches. So the dark is scrambling, especially right now. This is like the 11th hour, like, seriously.
And then, I was going to say that once you become where you're putting shields and barriers and things on yourself, you have to be very concerned about not, being in a very good place in your life to reconstruct them. You know what I mean? So if you say you're all full of say you've been putting up barriers and shields and things for a bunch of years, and then all of a sudden you're thinking to yourself, these don't fit or apply in my life the way they used to. I want to strip them all down. Well, think about it. You'll be raw, and then all this energy will be coming at you. You have to make sure you do it in a very safe environment. You know, what's a safe environment? Well, you have to make yourself a place in your mind that is a place of protection, of you know, I'm going to step into this room, or I'm going to step into this cave, or I'm going to step into this
your own private
elevator, a place. It's a place,
your
a
chambers,
cocoon.
yeah.
I think if I remember correctly, I think Reiki people use like like as if they're going into a diamond pod or something like that.
Well, honestly, there's no limitation. Whatever you want. A triangle. I use a triangle, a pyramid. I mean, you can use anything. An amethyst.
So basically, the whole concept of it is that you create a place, you know, and you know 100% that there's divine light within that place. You see it, you feel it, and then you strip, because you need to be, because there's nothing more than divine light.
And your intention. So that's how powerful you are, that you're creating whatever you want, and don't do it to hurt anybody. I feel like when I'm doing spiritual warfare and stuff like that, it's only in defense. I never do anything to hurt anyone, like to intervene on their path or their free will. It's always in defense, because if you come at me, I'm coming right back. So I don't go looking for it. Huh?
And let me tell you, I could tell everybody an easy thing. The easiest thing ever. Oh my gosh, this came from shoot, I can't even remember. I want to say Cobra Command or one of those kind of things. Basically, if you feel something, you know, you don't know what it may be. Maybe it comes on as a headache. Maybe it comes on as like in your third eye. Maybe it comes, I get lots of stuff on my chest, or I used to. You know, some people will get it in the form of feeling nauseous. Some people will get like diarrhea, like stomach,
That's a psychic attack?
Negative energy.
Okay. I start feeling like the person's emotions, like, because usually when people are attacking you is from hurt. They're hurt. So I start feeling what they're feeling. And what's so weird is like, it's like a smell in the house. You don't know where it's coming from. And so I sit there because it feels far away. I know it's not me, but I'm feeling it. So that's how I know it's not me and it's somebody else's, but it's an attack, because then it escalates into like, and like you said, it can be a headache, it can be backache, it could be like just so tired, or freaking out, like a panic attack, or just in any kind of way. So
if you're highly intuitive, when you get better and better at it, what you do is, so say like it's a back pain, and this is how you find out if it's real or not. Okay, when I say if it's real or not, if it's 3D or if it's an attack.
Okay.
So say you get a back pain. Well, you think to yourself, did I do anything that would hurt my back? No, I don't think so. Okay, now I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to dive into it. And then you look into it. You just kind of observe the pain. Well, then all of a sudden you get feelings. Maybe that's how your intuition works. Maybe you see a picture of a person. Maybe you get a feeling of something. Okay, but you know, that's a negative attack from a person. But I'm talking about, even say you walk into a store and there was just a altercation, and you walk into that negative energy, right? You could get sick. You know, so you have to brush it off of you. So anyway, what I was going to say is, here's my tip. So you feel it, right? You recognize that it is some kind of a psychic attack or a negative energy or something. You simply, like, as if you're gathering up that yucky energy.
That's so funny. Yeah.
Just like you're gathering it up. You don't have to use your hand. You can use your mind, that you're swirling it up. You're gathering up this energy. I send it back 10 times. Just like that. I send it back 10 times, full intent. Holy shit, that works.
I've been, and I didn't even know where I got this. It's like my higher self. I guess the more I integrate, the more I just start doing things. And sometimes I feel crazy because I'm, why am I doing that? So I started doing this where I go like this, like you said, and I put up a shield, and it looks like a spider web, and it's glowing red. And now other colors have been added to it. So now it's like glowing red, and then blue, and then gold and silver. And I'm like, what am I even doing? But I could see it happening. So I feel like this other dimension is coming in with mine, and it's merging because it's becoming part of my everyday. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking, what the heck is happening?
Yeah. And it's not, you know what, that's not, that's not crazy at all. It's so real. It's so true. You said that about the putting up a shield, like when somebody's speaking negatively or when this and that or
Or
whatever.
imposing their reality on you. When somebody says something about something, like you said with the rape, that's why I went, nope, because it's like, I'm not taking that on, but I'm still listening.
Yeah.
Like I'm just putting a filter. So
Say that again.
I'm not
Imposing.
taking it on. What?
I'm not imposing.
Oh,
How'd you say-
somebody's imposing their reality on me,
There.
and I'm not taking it on. I'm putting a filter, but I'm still listening. So the spider web is a filter. So I've previously have set the intention that my spider web is a filter, and only the highest intentions, the highest light and love can come through that filter, but my spider web will filter it. So I'll put it on YouTube videos that I watch. I'll put it on people that are talking. And like you said, if I'm in a 3D situation with someone where I'm going to look like a nut job doing one of these, in my mind, I see myself going like this and putting up the shield. And like you said, same thing. Or if I'm walking by a group of people and I feel the negativity, in my mind, I've already done it. Nope, I put up the big shield, the filter, because I want to stay open to receiving, but only certain things. So I put up my filter, like not everything.
But I love that. I love that phrase that you said that
Imposing the reality.
yeah, yeah.
I'm not.
I will not let someone else impose their reality on me.
Yeah.
Holy cow, that was like huge when you told that to me.
Yeah.
And then about the that shield like that, because I read and listen to lots of very nice people, but sometimes they have one or two things to say that is so bad, and I think to myself, that just made the whole thing go bleh. And now, because I put my shield up like that, it's like, that's not my reality. You're not imposing. Yeah.
And you know what it is? All you're doing, in my mind, I see it as I'm playing, what's the word? Kind of like that game. I can't remember the game. Is it ping pong? Where you have that paddle and you're throwing the ball back to them?
Yes.
Throw a ball at you and you're like, nope, you block it. You're blocking it. You're blocking it with your shield because you're like, that's not mine. Like when somebody rings the doorbell, you don't have to open the door, not even if it's the cops. Nope. Like why are you here? Are you here for good news, or are you here for bad news? Because I ain't about the bad news anymore. That's 3D. And
I'm hearing I'm hearing we need to tie into this. So imposing your reality. Turn off the frickin' TV. Quit watching the BS, the baloney news that is bombarding us with, what am I hearing? Hold on. Yeah, all that negative programming. They're reeling so badly because people are waking up so quickly that, yeah, it's like, the amount of negative stuff on TV nowadays is crazy. I mean, I'm talking media.
Not just on TV though. Not just on TV. Music. That was one of the first things that I was was taken away from me. You can't listen to music anymore. Now that I'm more in my authority, I'm allowed to listen to music, and I'm using words because words are so limiting. Allowed. I mean, but I follow my guidance because it has always served me. So yeah. I listen. So if I'm told don't eat cheese anymore, then I stop eating cheese, no matter how much I love cheese or coffee, whatever, because it's for a reason. we're a team, me and my team. And so not just TV, music, movies. If you get that weird feeling, get out of there, or put up your filter, put up your shields, put up your filter. People's conversations. If my kids come home and they're saying blah 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 and they're complaining, I put up a shield, and I don't make it my reality, and I just say, like, is it constructive, or are you just complaining? Because if it's not constructive, then zip it, because you know what I mean? Because I think we've been programmed and conditioned, and we're kind of like in love with the drama and the complaining and the victim and moaning and groaning. And it's like, you know, like, that's not serving anybody. You're poisoning, you're poisoning that. Stop.
Well, I was going to say that my, you know, you're talking about that, the drama and stuff. My kid, you know, he's 11, and the drama at the schools for everything. I mean, they turn somebody, you know, taking a pencil into a 9-day drama. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't understand. I don't remember it being that bad. It's like, because
it's everywhere. Okay, so as the light rises, the dark is rising too, because they're scrambling. So it's gonna fight. It's gonna fight to keep your vibration low, because it needs your light to stay relevant, right? Just like if you have a breakup, that ex is gonna try to hang on, and like, even if it's not serving them or you, I mean, that's just what we're programmed to, you know, a glutton for punishment. So I feel like you have to just decide that everything's gonna be okay, no matter what it may look like, because it's all an illusion. And you just decide and stay in your center, detached, observing, very calm, just unbothered as fuck. Unbothered. And just like, you're just watching, emotionless, just nope. You cannot be.
And being emotionless doesn't mean you don't care.
Right, but for your own sanity, for your own spiritual sanity, to stay balanced, because I feel like me, super dramatic, I know that about myself, so I have to like withdraw from the situation and just say, shut up, Sylphia, and just watch, because I will pop off, and I don't want to be like that anymore. So I have to wrangle myself and like be quiet and observe. Just watch. Yeah. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do anything. We're so like do. You don't have to do anything. Let it come to you. What's supposed to happen is gonna happen, and you'll be guided. You'll be guided, because you can't not do it, right? Your guidance, you can't not do it. That's how I know it's guidance, because it's like, I can't not follow this right now. I have to. You know,
I was just thinking about, I was just hearing that, to give the example of, so let's just say you're having a family conversation. Maybe there's like 3 or 4 people speaking, and it's getting kind of crappy. You know, this one's saying some stuff, that one's saying some stuff. And normally you'd be one maybe to get right in there, but instead you use discernment, and you sit back and you listen and you observe. And suddenly, because you're rolling in the 5D, you're getting the messages to say what needs to be said to diffuse the situation, or sometimes give a better insight. And then those other people are going to go, oh.
Yeah. So true. And what I've noticed is when I detach, when I'm like, this is not my problem, because sometimes I'm like Captain Save-A-Ho. I'm always trying to like, I'll save you, I'll do it for you, I'll help you, I have the solution. And I keep hearing, shut up, Sylphia, shut up. This is not your fight. Put your sword down, because man, I love using that sword. Put your sword down, be quiet. If someone seeks your counsel or whatever, your involvement, then you have to still gauge it, see if it's, you know, in the highest good. But if not, shut up and stay in your lane. Drive your own car. Who's going to be driving your car if you're off half-cocked driving somebody else's?
Yes. Well, I could totally go, I could totally feel that because, you know, like every day I'm hearing all this stuff, you know, basically I'm like this open filter, you know, like or this open channel, like I see a problem and I hear the solution, but it's like
Yeah.
you cannot give the solutions for everything because people have to figure it out.
Well, and
If
they
you're-
can't hear you. A lot of 99% of the time, if they're not coming to you for help, you could tell them the solution. They're looking at you like you're speaking in Japanese. They're like,
Right. Well, like anybody who's not awakened or not even like getting their toes in the water, they see this video we're doing here, they're gonna be like, these are two crazy women. Because you know,
they get triggered. That's what you do. Your energy will just trigger the crap
Yeah.
out of them, even though
Yeah.
you're handing them the solution to everything. You're not.
But a big thing is that, you know, because awakenings and going through this process is a journey. You cannot be handed it, never, you know.
You
And
can't
it's
go-
almost like it's like with anything, you know, when you got to go to school and you got to learn through like what do they call it, on the job training kind of a thing. I mean,
Sink or
this is
swim.
truly what it is, you
Swim.
know.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they called 911 training, or like the academy. They call it sink or swim, because it's like, we're pushing you in, let's see what happens. And you're like, ah, and then you're like, oh my God, I'm like this awesome swimmer and I didn't know. But you're not gonna know until you're in it. And like, why would you steal anybody's thunder? Like, that's the glory that you did it by yourself. That doesn't mean we can't ask for help, but like, usually when like you have an issue arise and there's no one around and you're like, where is everybody? It's because you're supposed to handle it by yourself.
You're supposed
So
to
you
go
can see
into
how powerful
yourself
you
and
are.
listen. Get quiet and listen.
Yeah.
And you know the funny thing, man, I got, you know, this kind of stinks because I'm hearing like 50 things to tell you all at once, and it's like, we're gonna have so many videos. So, you know, the getting quiet and listening to yourself. You know, okay, so if you're watching this video and you don't believe that, I'm gonna tell you, think about the priests and stuff. Think about whatever you grew up learning about. So if you're Jewish and the rabbis and stuff, they speak to God, right? So if you're Catholic, the priests, the nuns, they speak to God, right? Or the pastors or whatever, they're like a channel. Well, why can't we get quiet and do the same thing? Because they're men and women just like us.
And the monks, they did that too. They go
Oh.
quiet. They don't talk to anybody. Can you, real quick before we forget, can you go through like a simple shielding that somebody could do? A spiritual and energetic shielding.
Oh, well, the simplest of them all is, okay, you have to decide kind of where you're going to pull your light from. Are you going to pull it from above, or are you going to pull it from the earth? So, if you're in a panic right then and there, like, oh my gosh, I'm feeling this, that, and whatever, you probably won't be able to feel like a light right here. That's usually what I do, is I feel like a light from my solar plexus, you know, and I will quickly close my eyes. I will see like a golden light. The solar plexus is the yellow chakra. So you could see it, envision it however the heck you want to envision it, but you see yourself like a yellow light, and then you just look at it for a little bit and you say, okay, I want you to get a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger and a little bit bigger. And so eventually this light is going to be outside of you and above you and below you, at least a few inches to a foot. Hello, you just made yourself a barrier.
Like you're in a bubble. You're inside a bubble. And guys, if you have difficulty visualizing, because some people aren't visual, what I used to do back in the day is Google big yellow ball. And then like, oh, you see a picture of it, and then you just close your eyes because you just saw it. It's easier to see it that way, like super fast. If you're not someone who's familiar with this in the beginning, as you progress on your own, you'll just boom, picture it right away. Like you don't even got to close your eyes. I don't have to close my eyes anymore. I could just see it. It appears.
That's the beautiful thing, is eventually, you know, what you used to know as a kid, how to daydream, I call it slipping aside. Like you slip your mind over, like I'm sitting here staring at you, but my mind is kind of over there, you know.
Mm-hmm.
you learn how to do that, and all of a sudden you're seeing another layer of life,
Yeah.
and the more you keep getting more and more
And not just
evolved.
visually. I feel like it's visual. It's all three: visual, knowing, and the audio, because I get all three. And it's like sometimes it's just one, sometimes it's all three.
And there's
Sometimes,
more than that. Some people do the feeling thing.
yeah,
Like I
yeah.
just watched a boy on TV. He actually he didn't sense spirit the way we do. He puts his hand somewhere, and if it vibrates, that's how he knew spirit was there. He would
Wow.
get like a gut feeling. He would get a yucky gut feeling, and
Mm-hmm.
that's how his mom kind of knew maybe something was spiritual. And
Mm.
then, sure enough, whatever. Anyway, so yeah, he put his hand into a certain area, and that's when he would feel certain things.
That's so
So he was
cool.
a touch person.
Wow.
Now I was going to say one last thing. You're talking about shield, simple shield.
Yeah.
If you get into the point where you're like, oh my God, I can't even get myself to the point where I could think about a shield because I'm just being so bombarded with so much energy. This is Palo Santo. This is like the hottest topic nowadays. It's basically a piece of stick, and you light it on fire, and it's holy wood, and it's already all inclusive. What I mean by that is that this will give you enough of a moment while the smoke's going. Go ahead and kind of put that all around you, and then it breaks up the vibration of that negative energy. Okay, and then that'll give you enough of a second to then throw up a shield or puff out your
Collect
light or
yourself.
whatever.
It cuts. What I do every morning is I'm going to use my pen as an example, but I get a stick of incense. It could be any kind, but I use frankincense, and I light it, and then I remove any energy less than love, and I just like all around me, my hand, my arm, my feet, all the way up. And then I cut any cords in front of my solar plexus down like this, and then in my back, cut any cords back there. And then I call back all my power and all my energy back to me. I send any energy that does not belong to me back to whoever it belongs to, and every morning. So if you're feeling yucky, do that. Cut all that off of you because it's not yours. You don't want it.
Dollar store. I got dollar
Simple.
store. I went to the dollar store and got whatever incense they had the one time, and lo and behold, they had lavender. Lavender is a protection one.
Love.
Sandalwood and something else, lily of the valley, I think. But anyway, and here's the beauty of this. Now you don't have to get yourself caught up in Palo Santo. I have to get Palo Santo. Remember, it's all about intention.
Yeah.
Your mind is so powerful. Like,
Mm-hmm.
say, I got sandalwood or I've got lavender or any of that stuff. I believe that is going to dissipate, break up the energies around me. Bada boom, bada bing.
You
That's what it
programmed it.
does.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now you're talking about doing this all over and making all over. That's for you. That's what you need to do in your head.
Mm-hmm.
But you can even, like, if if you do, like, I want people to understand that, like, let's say you burn this and you got the smoke going and you're doing it, but then you miss a hole. Like, you miss yourself here, you miss yourself there. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Energetically, know that even if you went like this, lit it and went poof, that was enough, because it's the intention.
Yeah, that's sending the sign to spirit. Oh, we're protecting her. We're cleansing her. In a jam, like if I'm driving and there's some crazy psychos on the road, I imagine, or if I get into an argument on the phone and I'm driving and I'm somewhere public, I just call in Creator's Light, and I imagine like a bright white shower just washing me.
Sure.
And I call in the Creator's Light, and I ask that this light cleanse, clear, and purify any negative energy between me and ... whoever. If I'm having an argument, somebody, whatever, I just, nope, we're cutting that out. We're shower, cleanse, done. Nope.
Yeah. You come up with great words all the time. I can never think of the words. I just always just see it, and it's funny because I crack up some of my friends. I'll be like, you know, just do it, white light over here, da 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 da. Okay, and then like I can't think of the words. I say, I like trail it off, like, yeah, you know where else to go. You know, I'll sit there and speak to the angels or whatever. I'll be like, you know how to fix the rest of it, and I just know and I trust that they will.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, and that's huge though, because you have to just have that trust and that knowing it's being handled. Because if you have a, well, I don't know if this is true, you just canceled it. Don't do that.
So yeah, basically the any, you know, is if you can see white light, if you could feel white light or whatever you do with that white light, man, that in itself will help you every time, because that's source, that's creator, that's God, whatever you want to call it, God, goddess. I mean, it doesn't matter. It is all the same, you know.
Right.
But when you see that, yo, you're on, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's the head
anything else you
honcho.
wanted to talk about?
We've covered all the topics. We're going to talk about, I wanted to mention that Friday is the full moon. I believe it's in Pisces, because now I'm like, I don't even know what day it is. I thought today was Friday and it's Tuesday.
No, it's Friday the 13th. That's one of my luckiest days. Friday 13 is like such a lucky number for me, and so is, you know, Friday the 13th. So this is going to be a hot ass moon for me. I'm going to have to figure out what to do really well.
Yeah, let's set some good intentions and talk about the bay leaves for Friday.
Shoot, you know,
nice
I was gonna
nice
actually
ritual.
do one.
Let's do one. A nice ritual for everyone out there to do this Friday if they feel called to.
Well, it's in the kitchen. I'd have to go get
it. To call in. Well, let's pause it. We can pause it so you can go get it. And we're back.
Okay, so I have this little thing my girlfriend bought me. You could basically use any kind of heat-proof anything. This is one of these things that you burn charcoal in. I'm one for, I like to burn herbs for intentions, because my guides or my team told me that your intentions could ride on the smoke to the universe.
Yeah.
And it just makes it that much stronger, more intention. I don't know. So anyway, this is my little guy here, and I chose green marker because I'm going to write abundance on my bay leaf. So I'm going to just write
a bay leaf, a heat-proof container, a candle or a lighter, or
a lighter,
and marker and a bay leaf.
Yeah, and then, well, I found a nice set of tweezers, because otherwise I'll burn my fingers. And so basically what you do is you take the little tweezers like this. I wrote abundance in green. And then now check this out. I mean, it goes really fast. Maybe I should turn it down a little bit here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Check this out. It's like really fast.
So do you say anything in your head as it's burning, or you don't need to do anything else?
No. I am calling abundance to me. That's basically it. But what I do is, can you see it, how it's still burning? I hold it. I want this to be completely, completely, completely gone. And so I just keep holding it, and I'm letting the air take all of the, there, see that, that's all finished. This is not still. Although my angels are telling me right now, Roseann, that doesn't really matter. Okay, so this little piece is still not burnt, so I'm gonna finish that, and that's how I do it. And there's my intention up to the universe. Bada boom, bada bing, bye bye.
Now talk about what you mentioned earlier today when we were talking about the bay leaves. That it's what you want to call in, not anything else.
Right. So okay, now I research herbs a lot, or that was a thing I did when I started my rabbit hole, and I was all about, you know, because in the situation that, you know, I've been in, we've been having serious money issues, and so I was all about, I need money, I need money, I need money. So bay, you know, seemed to be a intention carrier, and I don't know where the heck I read that. I read it somewhere, and then I kind of kept it in my head, and then I went back again and heard it again, and then I says, okay, I'm going to do this. And so what There's my dog choking. Hey, stop.
Because he wants to choke. He doesn't want to choke.
She's like 12 or 13 years old. She's such an old hound dog. So, good Lord. Bay leaf, you know how when you want to get rid of something, you will write it on a piece of paper to release it. Well, bay leaf is, you don't put negative things on a bay leaf. You want what you want to attract to you. So you would never put on a bay leaf.
You said fat earlier when we were talking.
Right. Lose 10 pounds. No, you say something like
slim. You had to
slim, or you know, like let's say a lot of people when they are doing releasing, they'll write poverty on their piece of paper. You would never want to write poverty on your bay leaf because that's like you're asking for it.
Oh,
you would want to write like abundance or you know, yeah. And I've seen people write, you know, $1 million, you know. I mean, I follow my in the beginning of my journey, I took like a bunch of different classes on all different things, and my crystal healing teacher used to do bay leaves, and he was manifesting $1 million crystal collection. So he would write down $1 million, and on the other side, crystal collection.
Wow.
So yeah, you know, I mean,
that's cool. Anything really.
It should always be to the positive, you know, because think about it, you don't want to like negative woo yourself.
And that makes a lot of sense. Kind of like even in like Abraham Hicks and other you know, manifesting spiritual gurus, they say focus on what you want, not on what you don't. So I like that. Right. That's really good. Focus on what you want to call in. When you had mentioned earlier that you go into the pain, I've been doing that too, but I've been doing it more into the emotional pain. And what I found myself, have you ever, like, you're asleep, middle of the night, and you kind of like half wake up, but you're not totally awake. So it's like you're dreaming or you're in the sleep state, but it's like your mind just perks up. And so I caught myself, I saw myself doing something, and I thought, what the heck am I doing? I was diving into my pain body. I didn't even know we had a pain body. I was in my pain body, and I was like cleaning it out, throwing stuff out, getting rid of stuff. And I woke up achy and feverish, like I had just gotten rid of a bunch of junk.
You know what you were doing? You were fixing your energetic blueprint. That's what I do when I do healings on people. Oh my gosh, what the heck? I just picked up my phone and it started dialing your phone number. See how crazy we are?
Your face right now.
See how crazy me and Sylvia, we vibe really high together.
That's so funny. Weird stuff always happens with us.
No, you know what?
We're both from Chicago, so we're both crazy.
Yeah. We met each other on internet, and here we are from the same like area, and we talk the same, and we're both got this Virgo fire in us. And what else are we good about? I don't know.
Oh my God, angels.
Yeah. Crazy. So anyway, it's getting to be about that time.
Yeah. So explain what an energetic blueprint is really quick.
Oh, okay. So basically it's what exactly, you know, you think. Energetic blueprint is when an energy body, it's basically like how I see it. Well, I see lots of different layers though too, like as I keep looking and focusing. But basically what it is like you see an outline of yourself. You know, when you close your eyes and you're thinking about it, you see like an outline of yourself, and then things will come up, you know, like when you're talking about, oh, okay, how about this? When you're talking about chakras, see, I get, they're like, talk about the chakras. Chakras are your fuses for your energy body. Duh. Yeah. So when you want to fix your energy body, when your regular body hurts, you go into your energy body and you fix the blueprint. How do you fix your blueprint? Well, you start looking at, is your chakras all fixed? Okay, look off of your chakras then. Is there anything maybe fuzzy hanging around, you know? Your new layers will keep coming up as you're looking at the different parts of your body. And then, you know, everybody has different ways of getting rid of it. In the beginning, I used to just white light everything. So, yeah.
Okay, so there's no wrong way, just your intention.
No, yeah, I mean, totally. Okay, so you know how Sylvia here and I talk about triggered. There are certain words and phrases that trigger us, you know, and my trigger is the purple flame of, what's his name? Saint Germain. You know why? Because I got burned really bad by a guy who was like, I am a manifestation of Saint Germain, and he was nothing but a piece of poop. And so it triggers me now because he was all like, because I used to confide in him and talk about the white light I used and this and that, and he'd be like, no, you have to use the purple flame of Saint Germain, and that triggered me. So
there's no wrong way. You can use whatever you're guided to.
Totally.
Yeah, he was just in his ego. Well,
Right,
thank you so much, Roseann. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your stories and your wisdom. And I can't wait to do another show with you.
Yeah, this was super fun. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye.